Okay, everybody, this is super awkward for me, but we're here live in Seattle, Washington, not this nation's capital. And here are 5 options that I want you to consider that I've been kind of investigating for a replacement for our trip. And so, anyway, the first option is Camp Barnabas, which is June 16th through the 22nd. We'd probably leave on the 15th just to get there. We'd probably drive. It's in Missouri near Springfield in the bottom left corner. The cost is, because of how much we've raised for the auction, your cost would probably be, not necessarily free, but very minimal, like maybe $100 or $50 just to save your spot. The way the camp works is I have a lot of friends that are in ministry that take their group there, and it is for, if you are a 14 or 15-year-old in our youth group in high school, then you would work in the kitchen staff during the week, and if you're 16 and older, you would work as a counselor for special needs kids. Our week that would be going is Down syndrome and different mentally challenged kids, and so the age range is from 7 years old to 45 years old. Your student will never once be alone with a special needs student. You stay with your cabin pretty much the whole time, and they have a policy that there's at least 3 people together at all times. It would be very, it would be a challenging thing, but I think that a lot of groups have learned that helps you grow a lot, and also I think you'll be able to appreciate how much God loves special needs people just as much as everybody else. And so that's the first option. Second option is called Wilderness Expedition. This is not a mission trip. This would be starting on June 24th is when the official starting day would be, and we finish on June 30th-ish. The main thing is we probably have to leave a couple days, at least one day early, just because it's in Colorado, in Salida, Colorado. The cost for a 5-day trek is $380 per person, and for a 6-day trek is $435 a person. However, I've spoken with Richard Loveland, and he said the idea that we could probably ask a few people from church who donated to the auction and see if they'd be willing for their auction money to go towards scholarships for this, for students who were going to be able to do that. So there's a really good chance that this also might end up costing $100 or $150 per person, depending on how many people from church would be willing to donate that money. Also, it's important to know that I believe this is an option that I've put on here because I know a lot of my mentors and other youth ministers I respect do trek one year and then mission trips the other year, kind of a rotation, because they just recognize how much this trip just is really good for their students and transforms them spiritually, and they're challenged. It would be very difficult. We are climbing a mountain, and so it may not be for everyone, but I think that it's a good option, and I hope you'll consider it. Also, I forgot to mention that with Wilderness Expedition, they supply all of the hiking gear in terms of like backpacks and tents. You just have to bring your clothes and shoes. They provide all the intense gear, so you don't have to spend a lot of money to be able to do that. A lot more money. So anyway, I just wanted to. Another option is Medina Children's Home in Medina, Texas. If we were to go there, we would go June 17th through the 23rd. The cost is free, and what we would do is we'd be doing a mixture of manual labor and also interacting with the residents of the children's home. I've done this before with one of my internships, and usually in the day we work and do physical labor, and then in the evening time after dinner we go and as groups we go into different homes of families that have foster kids there, and also they have a program that works with single moms there at Medina, and that would be June 17th through the 23rd basically. The fourth option, this one is one that Richard Loveland brought to me. It's called, it would be where we'd go to Jamaica, the country Jamaica, and the city Eden, Jamaica, and we would, it would be June 24th through the 30th, and it would be basically the same cost as Nicaragua, maybe even like everyone has to pay at least $800, no discounts for additional family members, because it is a little more expensive than Nicaragua, but because of what we've raised, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have to do more research on exactly what we do, but from the things I've seen, we are housed in a place called Jamaica Christian School for the Deaf, and the paperwork talks about how we would be doing manual labor and spiritual stuff with different groups there in kind of a combination of relationship building and service work, not just at that school, but in places close by too. And then the last option, these aren't in any particular order, the last option is to work at Camp the Hills, not to do another week of Camp the Hills the same week we would have gone to Nicaragua, so June 24th through 30th, and we would not be able to do the kitchen and stay in the volunteer houses, and so it'd be a little bit of a different experience, but we would, I've talked with Michael, and he believes that they'd be able to find some good work projects for us to do to serve out there, and the cost would be free because of what we've raised for the auction. Maybe we do $50 per person just to make sure people don't back out and actually are going to commit to coming. But I would like, if we were to do something like that, to maybe try and stay somewhere, not necessarily a hotel. Maybe we could. I'm planning on looking into some Airbnbs or something where the girls stay at one house and the guys stay at one house in Marble Falls area. Probably some cool houses to stay at. And so anyway, a few things I just want to ask you before we end this video. Hopefully my voice has been loud enough this whole time, otherwise this is going to be super awkward. But first, I'm going to be sending with this video or later a survey for you to fill out, and it's going to have some questions to get your opinions on the options that I've laid out. The second thing is, please understand that we're not going to be able to help everybody, and we're not going to be able to, pick a, I'm assuming one of these options, there's not any one of these options that's going to be perfect for everyone to be able to go. And I apologize in advance for that. I just I hope that you understand that we're going to be doing the best we can to pick the best option that's going to be spiritually formative for Cinco Youth, and that our group is going to be excited about participating in. The third thing is, just want to remind you, email me if you haven't signed up for Camp Victory. I realize that Camp Eagle, Camp Victory, part of the payment for that was kind of in conjunction with Nicaragua, if you were going to Nicaragua or not, and we'll figure out what that's going to look like now that Nicaragua isn't happening. And then the last thing is, I just want to mention, I think it's kind of cool that I hadn't thought about this till yesterday, but this year's Nicaragua shirt that we made just says Kingdom Forever, and I unintentionally was just kind of like, no, let's not put a year on it, let's not put Nicaragua on it, just to make it look like the shirts that are the Magnolia Market shirts. And I think, looking in hindsight, it's pretty cool that those shirts, technically, we didn't make a shirt that said Nicaragua 2018, and maybe that was kind of God doing something where, already preparing our hearts that He's going to do good things wherever we're going. So just wanted to, so thank you for watching. Hopefully you can hear this.